All right, what's going on, guys? And today we're gonna go out on the water, take the Superjet and the Cowie out. But first I wanted to try something on the new ski. And the issue that we're having, that we've had since the beginning of owning the ski, we've noticed that the first about 20% throttle that you give, there's no response from the engines. So the RPMs don't climb till you give about 20% or more throttle. So today we're going to dive into that and see if we can fix it. But a couple guys had sent me some information on it. But here's a clip of how it reacts now. Alright, so now starting this procedure, we're going to have the throttle assembly removed from the hull. We're going to be rotating the TPS on the back side. We're going to have the engine running, so we'll have the water hookup connected with the factory provided quick connect. That quick connect goes into here. You just remove this little cap and install the quick connector right here. And then once the engine is running, you can turn on the water enough that there's a constant flow of water out of the cooling pilot water outlet. Now it's extremely important to never have the water running with the engine shut off. So always have the engine running before you turn on the water off the faucet, and then always turn the water off at the faucet before cutting the engine. So the engine always has to be running in order for water to flow through it. Otherwise you risk water blowback into the engine, which makes for a very bad day. It's a 6 hex and a 12 millimeter wrench to remove the assembly from the hull. Now that we have the assembly loose, a real common thing some people do is remove one of the return springs on the throttle to lighten up the throttle pull. But we are going to actually keep both, just because it's like an extra safety if the other one fails. Here on the back side, you can see the TPS and the 2 slots. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now the 2 bolts that are holding the TPS in its current position are tamper-proof Torx, and the size is T25. So the size is a T25 tamper-proof Torx, and that would be a Torx that has a hole in the center. The Torx bit, you can kind of see it has a hole there that a regular Torx bit wouldn't fit in to the screw. Now that we have it just loose enough that we can rotate it by hand, we're going to go ahead and get the hose hooked up, start the engine, and then turn on the water, and then we'll slowly rotate the TPS until we have alleviated the dead spot in the throttle. Once we have rotated the TPS some, we test the response at the throttle lever, not only with the steering straight, but at the clocked angles to verify that we don't have the TPS too far adjusted that the engine revs at any steering position. That's perfect. So we got to kind of like in the middle now, or no, more towards the other side.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's almost all the way one way. Now it's like, yeah.
Almost all the way.
It's like centered now.
Oh, okay.
There, yeah, you can see a little bit of.
Oh yeah, I can already tell. Yeah, so we stopped to get a stick out of the pump. I got a stick stuck in the pump, but been really happy with it. It seems like it's hitting how it should have from the factory. I'm not recommending everybody go out and do it, but because I don't know the long-term side effects. But appreciate the guys that had sent me the information and shared it on Facebook, and thanks to Ben for sending me the information. On a scale of like 1 to 10, I'd give it like probably a 4 or 5 in terms out of 10 for doing the mod. But the only thing is you need to have tamper-proof Torx bits. That's like really the weird tool to have. Let's go ride.